Yeah, John, how good is this? From one big series to another, the first place Rockies coming to town. Game 1 of 3, the Dodgers and Rockies meeting for the final time this season. 2 weeks left to go. We've been asking the question all year, which of the teams, Rockies or the Diamondbacks, eventually were going to pose the biggest threat to the Dodgers and their run of 5 consecutive titles. And it seems like with 2 weeks left to go, we've got our answer. The Rockies with a half-game lead and the Dodgers trying to chase them down. Joe Davis, Earl Hershiser, Alana Rizzo joins us in just a moment. And so you at home and you, Earl Hershiser, buckle up.
I am jazzed. I mean, we got 12 games left. We're a half game out. We're at home. We got the Dodgers here, and they're swinging the bats well. Win 3 out of 4 in St. Louis, and all of a sudden, now here we go.
So when you get into games like this, you expect the superstars step forward, and the Dodgers have seen theirs in recent weeks, really recent months in the case of Justin Turner, start to step forward.
Justin Turner is the professional at bat, but it is the productive at bat. Power, presence, he's got it. Yasiel Puig, he's amazing, but Machado, I would tell you, this guy is the guy that's probably going to get hot of all the hitters in the lineup, the top 6, and the National League Player of the Week in Yasiel Puig. Wow, 5 home runs in 2 games, amazing.
Pretty darn good star power on the other side. The reigning batting champion Charlie Blackmon leading the National League in average here in the month of September. And you've got an MVP candidate, Nolan Arenado.
You know what, Arenado has struggled, but you know what, you can expect him to rise to the occasion. He will be battling every bat. And Trevor Story's having an MVP type year, cut down on his strikeouts, and wow, the production has gone up.
2 of the top 3 run scoring offenses in baseball in this series, and so a lot falls on the pitchers for the Dodgers tonight. Hyun-Jin Ryu and John Gray countering for Colorado. First pitch of this huge series coming up from Dodger Stadium. Here we go. Dodgers and Rockies about to play game one of this three-game series. Joe Davis or Hershiser, and on the field brought to you by El Pollo Loco. As always, here's Alana.
All right, Joe, thanks very much. Of course, it's up to Hyunjin Ryu to get things going and have that starting momentum in game one of a very important three-game series. But the Dodgers starting rotation is shaping up to be an awesome one as far as this series is concerned. Tomorrow you have, of course, Clayton Kershaw. The last time out against the Rockies in Denver, he got the win, going 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 7 punch-outs, and 1 intentional walk. That was against left-hander Kyle Freeland tomorrow. Then on Wednesday, it's Walker Buehler, who pitched arguably the best outing of his young career on Friday at the Cardinals. Of course, he picked up the win after 8 scoreless innings, 9 punch-outs. That was a career high. He will go up against left-hander Tyler Anderson, but tonight, it's number 99.
31-year-old's been so good in this ballpark with a 1.51 earned run average this season. Let's take a look at the lineup that he'll face off with here in game one, brought to you by 76 with Charlie Blackmon at the top. And Dave Roberts would tell you there's probably no better 1 through 4 in the National League than they have with LeMahieu, Arenado, and Story following Blackmon. Matt Holliday's back in Rocky purple and off to a good start. Ian Desmond is at first. Gonzalez in right, and Drew Butera, the old Dodger catcher, is with the Rockies. He was acquired a couple of weeks ago. Well, Ryu, it's interesting, Earl. The last couple times out, not quite as good, not quite as sharp, but still not bad.
You know what? It's a little bit finer command, especially with the fastball and the cutter. Changeup has still been outstanding, and he can be dominant if he's around the edges, and that's what he's looking for.
He's into his windup, and off we go with strike one as Blackmon looks at a fastball. Closed captioning tonight brought to you by Wiener Schnitzel. And the reason that it's interesting with Ryu and that it's not been that bad is because some of the numbers look like it has been. He's given up a bunch of hits the last couple of starts, even though they're hitting the ball not quite as hard as before.
They're getting a few more balls in the air, and line drive percentage is up. But don't think line drive percentage is up and a line drive is hit hard. That just means it's hit in the air and falls short of the outfielder onto the grass or out there. The soft contact in the air has been falling in.
It's a little bit outside, and it's 2-1. And here's a breakdown of what you're talking about. And you look at the average against him. It was bound to go up just because there's some good luck in play his first couple of months, but the batted ball profile not necessarily what you're looking for. That's lifted to left. Jock Peterson out of room.
You know, that batted balls in play has really gone up, and that's just kind of a luck factor. You know, all of a sudden the balls are getting put in play a little bit more and they're finding holes, but it's not because he's been hit hard.
Walks are down, home runs for the most part down. Brings it 2-2. Blackmon shoots one on a bounce to Machado from the outfield grass, starting the series with a bang and a beauty for out number 1.
Everybody's excited, the adrenaline pumping. There's nobody that's not pumped for this game. And to get a play like this under your belt early locks you in right away. Smooth here and a gun there.
One gone, and up comes DJ LeMahieu. Dodgers coming off a 6-3 road trip. And over their last 22 games, best record in the National League at 15-7. The Rockies, meanwhile, dropped 2 of 3 over the weekend to San Francisco, and offense went cold. Only scored 3 runs in those 3 games. On a 1-0 pitch, LeMahieu. It's a fly ball off the end of the bat to Bellinger. 2 up, 2 down. Rockies won 5 in a row to start this month, but they've gone 5-5 over their last 10. Bud Black trying to lead the Rockies to their first division title ever. And with 2 out in the first inning, here's Nolan Arenado.
Arenado always dangerous, but right now pretty much slumping.
Fouls the first pitch back. And that's going back to the shoulder injury that he suffered against the Dodgers on August 10. Now, Nolan says that the shoulder only bothers him throwing, that it doesn't necessarily hurt him while he's swinging. But you wonder if it's not hurting him when he's swinging because he's changed his swing to compensate for the pain.
He might not be using the shoulder the way he should be in his swing, and he thinks he has found something, especially since Matt Holliday got here.
It's a soft bouncing ball right side with a shift on. That's going to be a base hit. And the inning kept alive. Speaking of finding something, finds himself an infield single.
Well, that's been Ryu's luck right there. You know, the ground ball percentage has gone down, but this one hit weakly. Exit velocity, of course, going to show it as just a weak ground ball, but found the right place, and that's been the bad luck that Ryu has dealt with.
Inning kept alive for Trevor Story. Strike one. Story 33 home runs. That's 4th in the National League. He's already got 7 this month to lead the majors. On an 0-1 pitch, Story chops one gently off of the hands. It's cut off by Turner. It's a scoreless first inning for Hyun-Jin Ryu. The Dodgers come to bat against John Gray when you come back. Peterson to lead things off, and then Turner and Machado with Muncy hitting cleanup tonight. Yasiel Puig for the first time in more than a month hitting in the top 5 in the order. He'll bat 5th. Bellinger's in center, Grandal doing the catching, and Kike Hernandez starting at second base against a right-handed pitcher. His name is John Gray, and it's been an interesting season for a guy who is their opening day starter for the 2nd year in a row. The numbers were so bad, Oral, in late June that he was sent to AAA. Came back after a couple weeks. Really good first 7 starts after returning, but has come back down to earth the last 4.
And for John Gray, it's never about stuff. It's about confidence and using the stuff properly. Throwing a lot more sliders now. When he got his mind cleared, boy, he was really good. But since then, lately, has kind of reverted back. I don't know if it's the pressure, but statistically, it's about the slider, which has been inconsistent and actually being elevated a little bit more by the hitter.
Falls behind Jock Peterson 2-0. Dodgers have seen him twice over the last month or so. Got 4 runs against him over 5 2/3 on August 10th. And then they waited him out for a season high 5 walks just 10 days ago. So it's fouled back and it's 2-1.
When a guy has struggled with command and confidence, being a little bit more patient is sometimes good because they're guys that don't usually attack.
His 2-1 offering to Peterson is lifted to left, slicing deep. Jock Peterson has hit it out of here to open the scoring in the first. What a start. Now Justin Turner, and he takes strike 1.
This swing will get you going. Big series. Big game, and you know what? He knew it. How much power do you have when you hit a ball to the opposite field and you know it?
Peterson's 22nd of the season, his 6th to lead off a game. So John Gray in a 1-0 hole. And home with a 1-1 pitch to the hottest hitter in the National League. It's a strike over the inside corner, and it's 1-2. And Turner, the subject of our Land Rover Performance Spotlight. Back to him coming off of the DL on August 2nd. Continues to lead baseball in every major slash. 1-2 pitch. There's a hanger. Diving stop by Trevor Story. What a play.
It hasn't just been a big year with the bat for Trevor Story. He's played this kind of defense for the Rockies, and they applaud all the progress he has made at the plate, not striking out, and on defense with the concentration. Machado showed off his glove and arm in the first. Story returns the favor.
And speaking of Machado, he comes up with the bases empty and 1 gone. Only seen John Gray a handful of times, but homered against him. Generous inside corner. Lance Barrett, who calls balls and strikes tonight, is as pitcher friendly of an umpire as there is in the majors, especially to the outside corner against right-handed hitters. That's fouled, and it's 0-2.
Good umpire to get a lead with. And if the opposing team starts to panic a little bit in their at-bats and they start to widen, the umpire is right there with them.
Machado flips one in left center. Charlie Blackmon, 2 out.
See a breaking ball from Gray, and you see velocity around 78, 79 miles an hour. That's the curveball, not the slider. That one was well executed on the outside part of the plate. A little bit like the curveball that Wainwright was throwing them yesterday.
Helping lead to the first shutout against the Dodgers in more than a month. But in the 4 games prior to that, the Dodgers scored 37 runs. With 2 gone, it's Max Muncy, and he takes strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yasiel Puig just named the National League Player of the Week. Waiting on deck. As Muncy waits on a 1-1 pitch. Tries to lay off and does. Ball 2.
John Gray's fastball averages around 95 miles an hour, but has thrown Muncy 3 curveballs in a row.
There's fastball, not close.
You're really emptying the tank on pitch selection when it's 2 out, nobody on, and you're already throwing somebody 3 breaking balls in a row. A lot of times with starting pitchers, to get in a groove, you go strength against strength.
Full count.
Save some of those bullets if you're in a jam against that hitter for later. Good information for the Dodgers early. Getting to see full metal jacket from him.
Here comes his payoff, and Muncy takes it in the dirt. Ball 4 to keep the inning alive for Yasiel Puig. And as Puig comes up, we look at the Indeed player resume. What a trip it was for him when he gets a great hand from this Dodger Stadium crowd. 5 home runs in those 2 days in that 24-hour span in St. Louis. And over his last 4 games, 9 hits, 5 homers, 9 RBIs.
Yasiel flipped the script where he wasn't the one giving Turner the kisses. He was receiving the kiss from Turner Ward for that production.
Lines one into right center field and stays hot with a 2-out base hit that sends Max Muncy to third, and they've got him cornered. Yeah, he delivered the kiss on the first home run. Turner gave him one on the second home run, and Yasiel said he figured on the third home run they should kiss on the lips, but Turner wasn't on the same page, put his hand up, and I think we went back to the cheek kissing.
Yeah, either was Donna Ward, Turner's wife. I'll tell you what, that ball wasn't hit hard, but it was hit in the proper direction for him to stay hot. Right center gap. If he lives there, he's very dangerous.
2-out walk and a 2-out single, and Cody Bellinger, who has owned John Gray, has an opportunity here. 6 for 8 with a pair of doubles against Gray. On the first one, Bellinger takes it high, ball 1. And it was overshadowed by what Puig did, but Bellinger had himself a huge day as well on Saturday, driving in 6. First and third, 2 gone. The 1-0, ball 2.
John Gray has struggled with his slider of late in the last 4 starts, and boy, he's almost abandoned it here in this first inning. Best secondary pitch he thinks, and Butera think right now, is the curveball.
See what he goes with on a 2-0. Is it a changeup?
It's either a changeup or a backup slider.
It's a strike. It's 2-1.
Maybe it was a changeup.
Rarely used.
And when you say rarely, it is really rare. It's below 2% of the time.
Close play at first. Ian Desmond wants him to take a look.
Yasiel wasn't very far off the base, but he didn't have his legs loaded. And all of a sudden, he needs to get back a little lean. Looks like he makes it back. It's bang, bang, but I think he's there. Play on, says the Rockies bench.
Dodgers in front on a Jock Peterson leadoff home run. Muncy's at third, Puig's at first. And Bellinger in the driver's seat with a 2-1 count as John Gray comes home again. Actually, another toss to first.
Yasiel looking at the dirt like he's slipping, getting back. I don't think he's slipping. He's just coming up instead of moving sideways back to the base.
This time Gray delivers. Bellinger watches his sink out of the zone. 3 balls, 1 strike. Grandal on deck.
Gray has power stuff, and he's pitching kind of scared. A lot of breaking balls. A lot of I hope you chase it.
Dodgers trying to put up a crooked number in the first inning. Bellinger taps it foul and the count goes full as he throws his second changeup of the at-bat.
Well, if he throws 100 pitches tonight, he's thrown his allotment of changeups. So he can just throw that one out. We're up to 2%.
Puig will get a head start from first. Three and 2. Here it comes. Bellinger fouls it. We'll do it again. Now, these are the spots typically where John Gray has had a hard time. It's kind of that snowball effect, right? When things are going well, he can turn into an ace caliber pitcher. He can rack up the strikeouts with the best of them. But typically one little thing has become another, and there are a lot of big innings against him. First and third, 2 out, another 3-2. Cody Bellinger takes inside, that gets to the screen. Muncy's in to score. Puig's headed for third. Out to retire the side. But the Dodgers get 2 in the first inning. A wild pitch allows Muncy to score the second run. Jock Peterson didn't wait around to produce the first.
Plays already here in this game. This is not a cross-up. John Gray just pulls this fastball all the way across the plate. That's a pass ball or a wild pitch, but then you watch Yasiel Puig off to the races. Once he sees it's wild, it kind of broke his stride down a little bit, and now with 2 out already in scoring position, this is a risky play. Little bit of a wide turn right here, kind of observing, and I think that ends up being the step and a half that he needed. He could have made it, but there were a couple things that weren't perfect.
Matt Holliday takes a strike from Hyun-Jin Ryu. It's a risky play, and with Gray struggling to find the zone, and with 2 out, it's a bad play.
Yeah, you just feel like you've got that guy on the ropes out there, and don't give him anything where you give him an out or possibly an out that he can't get himself.
Holliday yanks one down the line. That is strike 2. It's cool seeing Matt Holliday playing again and playing in a Rockies uniform again. He spent his early years. Started this year just at home in Florida, being a dad to his 4 young kids and thinking that it might be it for him. But his wife encouraged him to give it another shot. Here he takes strike 3. Is the first out of the second, but overall the Rockies are happy that his wife talked him into it, because he's been very productive when given an opportunity since they signed him and called him up about a month ago.
Huge influence in the clubhouse and in the lineup. He'll struggle in left field at times, and that can hurt him, but they get him out of there if they get ahead or the game is close later in the game.
One gone for Ian Desmond. Takes ball 1. How big of a deal is the fact that a lot of these Dodgers have been here, 5 consecutive division titles, and not many of them have been here for that entire run, but Rockies a team looking for their first division title ever. They've been in races, but not to this degree. This is the latest in a season they've ever been in first.
I think both sides have the same amount of want. I think it changes the pulse. I think the Rockies' pulse is going to be a little bit more accelerated over the Dodger pulse of understanding what it takes a little bit more to win these big games and feel that pressure.
Ground ball to third. Justin Turner ranging to his right to get Desmond.
For a prize you've hungered for. Just even as you get into the playoffs, and then all of a sudden you have a playoff mentality. You talk about it's great to have veterans on the team to explain to the young guys what it's like to play those games. Well, the Dodgers have played a lot of these games. The Rockies have played very few. They haven't even been in first place in the history of their organization up to game 149.
Right.
It's different.
Heady stuff, but a confident bunch that believes they belong. And they should believe that. 150 games into the season now, and they sit at 82-67 and in first in the West. Carlos Gonzalez looks at ball 1.
And if fans don't understand that half game, for the Rockies it's a game in hand, meaning they haven't played that other game yet. So if they would win the other game that they have left over the Dodgers, it would go to a game lead. But if the Dodgers are off and they play that game and they lose it, it would be tied. So the Rockies have played 1 less game than the Dodgers. And if they win that game, they'd be up by 1.
Ryu's 1-1. Gonzalez hits it off of the hands, and Ryu inducing some soft contact into the shift. Justin Turner there to put it into a 9-pitch second for 99.
That is for sure later in the year, and these are fun too because you know what? The temperatures drop a little bit. You start to feel like, oh, this is getting close to October baseball.
Yasmani Grandal to the plate to start this second. The last year was fantastic. The LA Dodger record for wins. Won the division by 11 games. Beat the Rockies by 17 games. But there's something to be said for waking up each morning and checking the standings and looking forward to the drama of that night's game. That strike one on Grandal. And every game, so important. Seems like every time we're opening a new series, we're talking about it being the biggest series of the year. It's high and away, and it's 1-1.
The Dodgers played the Rockies in Colorado. They came into that series a game and a half behind them.
Pop up, short right. And Gonzalez for the first out.
Follow the race to the postseason on MLB.tv for $25.99. Watch every out-of-market regular season game, plus get a free subscription to MLB at Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv to take advantage of this limited time offer.
Kike Hernandez sporting what he calls the Chase Utley rookie look with those stirrups. Kike has continued to really produce for Dave Roberts, getting the start today against a right-handed pitcher at second base. Well above 300 over the last month and a half. The powers continue to be there too. First career 20 home run season for Kike. He's in an 0-2 hole.
With John Gray, some of those pitches that we were calling changeups in the first inning, the website is charting as sliders, but you definitely don't want that kind of break on your slider where it looks like it's acting like a changeup. We'll see as the game continues if he all of a sudden gets a handle on that pitch.
What's Twitter.com have it as?
They have it as.
I was just making a joke.
I was like, what? I don't know that website. You got me.
Twitter.com?
Well, Twitter, yeah. But I don't check that during the game right now. You know, you got me. I'm actually blushing. Put us on camera.
1-2 pitch. Hernandez with a bullet to short, caught by Story. What website do you prefer for tracking pitches?
Well, you know,
clearly not Twitter.com, but what is your go-to for real?
I like Remarkable.
Okay.
But, you know, there's a. It's really odd. I think we should come up with some definitions for all the different websites where it really can just be more unified. Like a slider has to do a certain thing, and it comes down to what is the pitcher attempting to do.
Strike one on Ryu.
Pitchers will tell you, you know, we've gone over this discussion earlier in the year. You know, well, don't call that a slider. It's my curve. And it's like, it only breaks 6 inches down and 6 inches to the left or the right. And it's like, that's more like a slider. But I don't know.
So what do we go with? Do we go with what the pitchers are saying, or do we go with what the computers are telling the pitchers they're doing? Ryu bangs one down the right field line. A majestic foul, 1-2.
I don't know. What do you want to go with? I don't like confusing the audience, but we're confused.
It's just, if the computer wants to tell Clayton Kershaw it thinks it's a cutter, we'll let the computer do that.
Yeah.
Another foul. We'll do the 1-2 again.
Yeah, there are definitely a few pitches out there, even on the Dodgers staff, that, you know, the computer says are one thing and the pitchers say are another. I usually just go to Twitter.com.
You know what, though? It's one of the beauties of baseball is the gray area. And it's great that we can define so many things now, quantify so many things, but the gray area is part of the game, too. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right now, the gray area has been around the zone. Already a couple walks from John Gray. Here he gets Ryu swinging. His first punch out of the game. Through it 2-0. by BMW. See a Southern California BMW Center today for exceptional offers, or visit SoCalBMW.com. And by Jack in the Box. Try something different like Jack's Teriyaki Bowls. Only at Jack in the Box for a limited time. Dodgers in front 2-0. Ryu back to work for the third.
If those two are hugging at the end of the game, I'd say the Dodgers are going to win.
15-7 over their last 22 games. That's the best record in the National League in that span. Rockies, meanwhile, have the best record in the National League since late June. They were 8 games back with a few days left in June, but the best record since. Old Dodger Drew Butera to lead this inning off. Who caught a handful of Hyun-Jin Ryu starts. He was in a Dodger uniform 2013 and 14 before going over to Kansas City. A world championship with the Royals. He takes strike one. The Rockies brought him over prior to the waiver deadline. Pops this one up on the right side of the infield. Max Muncy with plenty of room for out number one.
Pitcher number 55, John Gray.
Nice to get that first out of the inning if you're Ryu, and the distribution of outs so far have been very, very good. A lot more ground balls. Keep the ball out of the air is when he's most successful.
Well, a lot of guys, when you're talking about the ground ball rate going down, you're talking about them not pitching down in the zone as much. Is it that simple with Hyun-Jin, or is there more to it with the ground ball rate going down?
Well, I think the fastball location has been a little off. I think the cutter, as far as it being really sharp, so you think about a cutter at the very end, you want that late movement, and it actually goes down a little bit when it's best, so they hit the top of the ball, and then the sharpness of the off-speed stuff. So if everything is kind of up and a little bit flat, and they're able to put it in the air a little bit more often, the weakly hit fly ball or line drive has a better chance of falling in than the weakly hit ground ball. And I think that's where a little of that luck factor has come in with him. You love that fastball down there right by the edge of the strike zone.
You and Hyun-Jin liked it more than Lance Barrett did. 2-2.
Yeah, I'd rather miss down than miss up when you're trying to hit the knees.
That one's where he wants it. John Gray's out number 2 and Ryu's second K of the night.
Number 19, Charlie Blackman.
Second time through the order begins with Charlie Blackman. Was the only guy first time through the order to hit it hard against Ryu. Robbed of a hit, and a nice play by Manny Machado. "32-year-old three-time All-Star looks at ball one. It's in his 8th major league season. First few years, Blackman was just a role player. It's back and forth between the majors and the minors, and dealt with injuries for many of those years. Swings and misses at a sharp breaking pitch, and it's 1-1. In fact, Charlie finally makes it to the major leagues, and in his first month in the bigs, he broke his foot while rounding second base. Dealt with turf toe. Just when he thought the bad luck was over, got a staph infection in his knee. And he takes ball 2. But in recent years has gone healthy and give it an everyday opportunity, partially because Dexter Fowler left Colorado and has become one of the premier outfielders in the NL. On a 2-1 from Hyunjin Ryu, Blackmon swings and grounds it foul. 2-2.
Charlie with the eye black at night. Must really think it's kind of glary here. The light's a little bright. And when you play center field sometimes, you might wear that more for defense than for when he is hitting.
Another 2-2. The count goes full. Last two batting champs in the NL at the top of this Rockies order. Blackmon last year. You saw LeMahieu waiting on deck. He won it in 2016. Ryu delivers a payoff, and Blackmon foul tips it to stay alive.
No better feeling than where the Dodgers are right now. Anxious coming into a series like this, get off to a good start. Ryu locating the ball, looks fantastic with the eye test. 2 out, nobody on, facing their leadoff hitter. Get in the dugout and keep the momentum.
Stroke to left, Peterson on at first. It's over his head, misread it badly, and it gets to the wall, allowing Blackmon to get to second. Balls hit right at you, oftentimes are the most difficult to judge. That one ate Peterson up to keep the inning going.
This changes a lot of what we just inventoried as far as the momentum. Jock looks like he lost it. You see some guys lose it in the lights late and kind of shy away. It looked like early on that ball got in the lights and he did not react to how hard it was hit and didn't read it properly.
Blackmon has both of Colorado's hard hit balls in this game. And with 2 out, it's DJ LeMahieu. And San Francisco over the weekend, this part of the order here, LeMahieu, Arenado, Story, a combined 3 for 32. The Giants took 2 of 3 games. And even if you include Charlie Blackmon in that group, 6 for 43. Top 4 in the order.
You look at the resumes of this lineup and you go, okay, they're going into San Francisco. They're in a battle with the Dodgers, a little bit with the Diamondbacks. Oh, they're going to get way more than 3 runs a game. They got 3 runs in the whole series.
None until Antonio Senzatella drove in 2 in the final game yesterday. Blackmon at second, 2 out. Ryu to the plate, 1-1. They're cut and a miss, 1-2.
A very sharp cutter. Well located with good action.
It's a pitch that has not been nearly as effective lately for Ryu. Use it to get ahead 1-2 here. Back home with the next one. It's punched to second. Easy play, Hernandez, and the inning is over. A 2-out double, but no damage to the bottom of the third. 2-0. Gray, 2-0 to the bottom of the third. They got the first one on Jock Peterson's leadoff home run, and we see it on StatCast AI, powered by AWS.
Jock going oppo, and with a lot of confidence, it was gone. Well hit with backspin.
They'll lead off the third. Turner and Machado to follow against Gray. John Gray, as the numbers have again ballooned lately, home runs have been quite an issue. The home run for Jock Peterson was the 8th that Gray's allowed in his last 4+ starts. He deals a 1-0, and Peterson leaves it up 2-0. That's a fair ball. Peterson hits it hard again. A sharp bounce into short right field that turns it into an easy double. That's as sharp of an angle as I think we've seen all year for ricochet off the wall.
Let's take a look on Carl's cam. This bullet hit hard enough to be a home run. This one hit on a line, and yeah, it does really carry him off the wall. Carlos Gonzalez having to run a long way for that one. An easy double for Jock. As soon as he sees that carom, you can see he's just easing on into second.
Well, Jock came into the game 2 for 18 lifetime against John Gray. 2 for 2 over the first 3 innings tonight. An RBI chance for Justin Turner. Oh, look out. Off speed slipped. No intent. 1-0.
Justin smiling with Drew Butera, knowing that the fans are going woo, but he knows it was a breaking ball. He could read the spin. Curveball that slipped out of his hand.
Gray's 1-0. Turner watches ball 2. Now, John Gray a year ago won 10 games at an ERA around 3.5. By all measures, it was a great year until the wild card game. Shortest outing of his career. Went just 1 1/3, gave up 4 runs as the Rockies were bounced by Arizona. That's jammed to the right side and past Ian Desmond. Peterson held at third. throw comes home. Good stop by Butera, and they've got him cornered with nobody out. There are some that think what that did to John Gray mentally carried over into this season, and the numbers have not been close to what he was able to put up last year.
Justin Turner with a very team-oriented at bat right there and approach, just forcing his hands inside that ball that was in on him, pushing it off his body, but still finding a hole.
And here's Machado. So tonight, John Gray finds himself pitching in as big of a game that he has since that wild card meltdown. The Rockies are just hoping that he can dig deep and show him something in a big stage. Guy that they've had high hopes for a long time. 3rd overall pick in the draft in 2013. Here already the bullpen gets going in the 3rd inning. Machado takes strike 1.
Rock bottom for either team would be getting swept in this series. So game 1 feels really good as far as your mood, your momentum going into the rest of the series if you can put this in the W column.
Weak pop fly, short center field. Probably not going to be deep enough, but it falls, and it'll do the job nonetheless. The Dodgers catch a break. Machado with an RBI single. 3-0.
I'm not sure Blackman was calling this, but Story sure gave up on it early. He had the ball tracked and could have got there easily. Story running out. He keeps checking Blackman. I'm not sure Blackman was calling because as bad as he misses it, I'm not sure he was going to get there and be calling Story off.
Not too many times Manny Machado has reason to give the barrels are overrated signal, but that was one. He's got kind of like some modified mutton chops going. Two on, nobody out. Here's Muncy. Muncy unloads. Right center field. Forget about this one. A 3-run shot. They've busted it open early.
Peterson makes his own hole. Justin Turner finds a hole. Manny Machado bloops one in, and then this is a blast and a no-doubter.
Puig now is 2 for 2 on 2 pitches seen. He'll throw on the brakes. 9 of the first 14 hitters have reached against John Gray, turning this into his latest big stage nightmare, which comes to an end with nobody out in the 3rd. At least 6 runs on 7 hits and a pair of walks. 6 runs. Puig at first, his responsibility as well. And the Rockies have to turn to the bullpen here in the 3rd inning in game 1 of this series. It's Harrison Musgrave.
There's plenty of reinforcements in the bullpen, but for Bud Black to go this early, that means the game hasn't gone well, and that's exactly what's happened. He's looking for some other guys other than right-handers to emerge in the bullpen. All of his positive quality pitchers down there in the bullpen are right-handed, anchored by Wade Davis, their closer.
And the guy that he brings in here, Musgrave, has probably been the most reliable of the left-handers. The rookie on for Bellinger. Still nobody out in the 3rd. The first thing Musgrave does is check on Puig. Now the bullpen, really for both these teams, has been good in September. After that was the biggest concern for both sides for much of August. Bellinger shows bunt and takes the ball.
Coming into September for me, it was like, which bullpen is going to perform the best between Arizona, Colorado, and the Dodgers? Both seem like they would be susceptible to meltdowns, but both the Rockies and the Dodgers bullpen have really risen to the occasion of this race.
One ball and one strike. Cody Bellinger takes ball 2. Walked his first time and is top of the list of guys bummed out that John Gray isn't still in the game. The numbers he's put up against Gray lifetime. '26-year-old rookie Harrison Musgrave to Bellinger with a 2-1, and he strokes a line drive base hit to center. 6 consecutive hits to open the 3rd for the Dodgers.
An offense that averaged over 7 runs a game in St. Louis. And we take a look at the Morongo slow-mo cam. Cody Bellinger staying on that one, not trying to do too much, but does enough with this line drive. He gets shut out by Wainwright in the last game in St. Louis, but prior to that, the offense was firing like this.
Yeah, so if you throw yesterday out, or even if you include it and just say 5 of the last 6 games, they've scored 43 runs in those 5 games. Here's Grandal, 2 on, nobody out, taking one that's not close. Hitting right-handed for the first time tonight. Flying to right his first time. Fun night for a starting pitcher right now, huh?
It's a lot of fun, but it does put some weight on your shoulders. It's like, if we don't win this one, it is my fault.
Grandal goes the other way, but got that one off of the barrel a little bit towards the end, and Gonzalez put it away. Puig's headed for 3rd. He'll get there. 1st and 3rd with 1 out. Here's Hernandez. We were talking about it during the pregame show. This first game for the Dodgers big, and for both teams big because of what the Dodgers are stacking up for pitching the next 2 nights.
Clayton Kershaw, Walker Buehler, both on hot streaks right now, throwing the ball well. Walker Buehler probably had his best game of his professional career in his last game. Got through 7 innings, had gone 7 innings 5 times in his career. Finally got into the 8th, which was awesome, and pitched 8 innings of outstanding ball.
Hernandez, strike 1. Did you see Pedro Martinez's tweet?
I did.
On Twitter.com, he said that Walker Buehler to him is Orel Hershiser with better stuff.
And you know what? He's exactly right. Maybe I don't know if he's Oral Hershiser at all. Maybe he's just got a pointy nose like I do, but he is going to be really, really good. And you know what? He already is.
Hernandez laid off 1-1. My first thought is, man, the way that stuff's coming out, the way Walker's looking, that's a heck of a compliment for Oral.
Yeah, he's doing it with location and velocity that I never even thought about. Threw the ball 99 miles an hour in the 8th inning.
Here's the 1-1. Runner takes off. Hernandez lines into a double play. And so this 3rd inning comes to an end, but the Dodgers strike for 4. The loud swing coming from Max Muncy. 33rd of the season, and after 3, the Dodgers 6, the Rockies nothing. Lots to smile about tonight for the Dodgers already. 6-0 they lead after 3 innings. Joe Davis, Or Hershiser, and Alana Rizzo. Glad you're with us. Hope your week's off to a great start. As the Dodgers and Rockies play the first of 3 tonight. First of 6 on this final homestand of the regular season. Hyun-Jin Ryu with a comfortable lead with which to work. Arenado leads the inning off.
Dodgers to start June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd went into Colorado and just obliterated them with runs. They scored 11, 12, and 10 in that series. This series is starting like that one, but it's located here in LA.
You know, other than that, those 3 games in Denver, the Rockies have pitched the Dodgers pretty well. 2-0. That was one of the things that was discussed coming into the year. This Rockies team, you understood the lineup they had, that they were probably going to score a lot of runs between the lineup and the ballpark that they're in. But did they finally have the pitching to allow them to compete? That's foul tip, 2-1. And they have. They've had a lot of young pitchers really do well, especially in the starting rotation, because the bullpen has fallen short of expectations. You're going to get a chance to see one of them tomorrow, and Kyle Freeland head to head with Clayton Kershaw. Ryu to Arenado 2-1, and that is ball 3.
The Dodgers will be flipping to their more right-handed lineup the next 2 games, with 2 left-handed starters from the Rockies going.
Arenado hit an infield single his first time, and against Hyunjin Ryu now, Nolan Arenado is 11 for 17 with 3 home runs.
And none of that this year, except for the first at bat, because Ryu has not faced the Rockies this year. He's trying to erase some bad memories with the team and with Arenado.
High fly ball to left center field. Bellinger drifting to the track. No big deal for the first out of the inning.
See the Dodgers take on the Rockies tomorrow at 7:10. The first 40,000 fans in attendance will receive a Matt Kemp bobblehead presented by Budweiser. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
With one gone, here's Trevor Story. What a season he's had in his 3rd year in the majors. This offseason, he went back to work on his swing with a guy that he says knows his swing better than anybody else. It's actually an old Little League coach of his. That's strike 1 from Ryu. His name's Brandon Sherrard, and he estimates that he's seen Trevor swing the bat some 50,000 times. I don't know how you come up with that number, but the point is he's seen him swing the bat a lot for many years. He's 10 years older than Trevor, but through all that work, they've become close friends. Trevor was Brandon's wedding recently. 5 days a week this winter. They'd spend 2 hours a day. They'd watch video. They'd go back in the cage. They'd tweak. They'd go back to the video, tweak some more, over and over. The main focus was just to simplify things and slow everything down. He takes this one high and away, and it's 2-1. You mentioned his strikeouts have gone down. He says the biggest thing that's come of all that work is as he's slowed down, his pitch recognition has gotten a lot better.
Can't hit what you can't see. You won't see in time.
Two and two.
Chris Taylor was on the pregame show with Jerry and Alana down on the field and talked about him feeling better at the plate, and Jerry trying to lead him to the fact that you made an adjustment with your hands, and he said yes, but the biggest thing has been making swings where my head doesn't move.
Story looks like he's in some pain.
He did make that great diving stop to his left earlier. If he tweak something there, or this is something that's ongoing, or did this just happen?
Well, it looks like he's going to leave the game. So Trevor Story is top 5 in the National League in home runs and RBIs. Times this year, borderline has been making an MVP case. Will leave the game here in the 4th inning, game 1 of this critical series. Pat Vallejo will inherit the 2-2 count. You hate to see this to one of the best in the National League this year.
Well, you like to beat people at their best, full strength. No root for anybody to be hurt.
And hitting for Trevor Story, number 4, Pat Vallejo.
Rick Honeycutt will probably come to the mound. Yep, here he comes. A little scouting report to Grandal and Ryu on Vallejo.
And boy, this game in this series could not have gotten off to a worse start if you're Colorado.
The play we were talking about earlier. Did this irritates something, and then it finally came to a head with that last swing.
Yeah,
griping about something right there. Something doesn't feel right.
Well, bottom line, they're down 6-0, but with a bad start from John Gray, they go to the bullpen early in the first game of the 3. And now their all-star shortstop Trevor Story leaves with an injury. Hyunjin Ryu tonight, 2 strikeouts, no walks, only 2 base runners against him. Infield single from Arenado and a double from Blackman. So Valleca called off of the bench, waits on a 2-2, and yanks a line drive to left that Peterson will run under.
Trevor Story, one more look at the play and the ground ball and the throw, and here's his reaction after that. And then when he comes up to the plate, shaking that thumb out. Maybe when he dove, that's the throwing hand. This is before he even swung the bat, so maybe it's not anything with his lower half, maybe it's his hand.
Strike 1 on Matt Holliday. Strike 2. Now Story had the season-ending thumb injury as a rookie. It was his left hand, and in this case we see him shaking that right hand. Ryu to Holliday with an 0-2. It's taken down and away for ball 1. The 1-2. Base hit the other way.
Number 20, Desmond.
And a 2-out chance for Ian Desmond with the Dodgers in front 6-0, getting 2 in the first and 4 in the third. And the Rockies trying to get the offense charged up. 4 games on this road trip, total of 3 runs. Ball 1 on Desmond. Strike 1.
The best way to keep the momentum if you're Ryu is to keep filling up the strike zone. Change speeds, don't just attack with the fastball, keep pitching, but fill up the strike zone, suffocate the hitters.
Got his bat on this one, gently to center. Bellinger with nice closing speed to get to it. Hyunjin Ryu with 4 scoreless innings so far. Plenty of support. St. Louis opening a series in Atlanta tonight and off to a good start. Molina with an opposite field home run to put the finishing touches on an 11-6 Cardinals win. Dodgers open the night tied with St. Louis for the second wild card spot, chasing Milwaukee, at least to host that wild card game. The Dodgers have their sights set on a 6th consecutive division title. There are some crazy potential scenarios, aren't there? Here's Hyun-Jin Ryu taking ball 1.
Yeah, as they start to sift out, maybe we'll get into a few of them tomorrow or the next day.
I mean, the easiest one to look at is if these two teams were to tie in the division, they play a game 163. And if the Dodgers hang on to this one, they are guaranteed to host a game 163 head-to-head because it's hosted by the team that wins the season series. 2-1. If the Rockies,
yeah,
the Dodgers, and the Cardinals all tied, Dodgers and Rockies would play a game 163 to decide who wins the division. The loser of that game would then play St. Louis in the wild card game.
And would they play it in Colorado or would they play it in St. Louis? Depends on the head-to-head matchup there.
Ryu has a walk to open this fourth. If it was the Dodgers, it would be in St. Louis because the Cardinals won that season series 4-3. And it would also be in St. Louis if the Rockies won it, as they dropped the season series to the Cardinals. We'll worry about that when we get there, but the point is there's some interesting tie-breaking scenarios that could take place. Not too far out of the question with how tight it is at this point. Here's Peterson, home run and a double tonight.
Facing Musgrave, who's a reliever, of course, but Jock Peterson, you're looking at someone that is in the top 10 in Major League Baseball in slugging percentage against starting pitchers. .593 coming into the game. So he not only picks on the starters, but he hits them for average and power.
Ahead 2-0. Musgrave struggling to find it, having walked the pitcher. And now falling behind Peterson, 2 balls, no strikes.
This is where Bud Black needs his relievers to come in and do the job and not continue to put gasoline on the fire, because then all of a sudden you get a workload issue on the short term. It's one thing to have a lot of bodies down there. It's another thing to get them started to be used up.
Peterson cranks one in the air to right. Did he get enough? His second home run tonight.
Up fastball that he hit the left in the first at bat. This is a really up fastball that he hits here. This is a majestic home run. The angle on this one looked like it left the bat as a pop-up, but it was hit so hard it just carried and carried.
Nothing in one on Justin Turner. 1-1.
It's hard to get on top of this baseball and not pop it up, and Jock got just to the point where it's not a pop-up and it's hit firm enough to get out of here. That is not easy to do, Joe.
You call 30 degrees majestic. That's 37 degrees off of the bat. Ball 2 on Turner.
be very few home runs hit with 37 degrees of angle. You got to hit it hard.
2-2. Turner stays alive. Justin Turner, one of the best two-strike hitters in baseball. The only guy with a higher average with 2 strikes. It's not be somebody that I would guess right away, but it's Andrelton Simmons in Anaheim. Full count.
That wouldn't have been my guess either. Simmons does have great eye-hand coordination and kind of a free swinger. Maybe just keeps that concept, makes good contact, and gets some hits with 2 strikes.
Turner earns the walk. Musgrave still looking for his first out of the 4th. A walk, a homer, and another walk. Here's Machado. Well, last time we were talking about Manny, right after I asked the question about his mutton chops, Muncy homered, so I didn't get your thoughts. Would you say those are the makings of some muttons?
Yeah, it looks like there's some designer shaving going on.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 1.
It's tough to go through those awkward hair stages. You're moving towards some kind of design or something you're doing.
Manny transitions from hairstyle to hairstyle quickly. Punches one on a bounce to Desmond at first. They get the out at second. That's all. I think it is the first time we've seen him incorporate the facial hair, though, into the transition.
He's got a lot of style. His outfits to the park, on the road. He's right there with Matt Kemp.
Literally and as far as the outfits. Muncy coming up. We look at his home run on our Arco top tier play.
He didn't get it up there where he has been above the aisle in the pavilion out there, but boy, he crushed that one.
Here he takes strike 1. You know, Max has started to, in a lot of ways, get back to what he was doing when he was so hot for much of the first half, and that is rack up the walk totals. Tonight he walked his first time. That's his 9th in his last 4.5 games. But then also, when the pitcher does give him a strike, do damage. One and 2. Chase is here. 2 out.
Right fielder, Yasiel Puig.
And here's Puig. Yasiel's seen 2 pitches tonight and hit them both for singles against John Gray. Wow. Already wiggling. Strike 1. Strike two. Hope that wasn't a painful lean over.
Yeah, that's what that looked like for a second, but Yasiel accentuates a lot of his movements, and sometimes it's not about pain. It's just a little extra tweak there with the back foot as much as he spun it. That's a big body to support with little toes.
Yasiel have small toes.
Yeah, you know, when you get it, your foot turned over the way he does and coming through it, working on really getting his hips through. Well, that's going to grind those toes into the ground.
2-2.
Can't say I've ever measured him.
Right. Down on strikes, that's the inning. The Dodgers get two more. Another Jock Peterson home run. We've played 4 innings. Peterson's got 2 homers and a double tonight. 8-0 to the 5th. Carl's Jr. And by Goosebumps 2, Haunted Halloween, only in theaters October 12th. Hyun-Jin Ryu with an 8-0 lead, back to the mound for the 5th.
Coming into this start, we talked about Ryu and his pitch mix and what was working and not working. The changeup and the curveball were pretty solid, but the fastball and the cutter had been getting hit around a little bit more. He's shown a lot of confidence in both the fastball and the cutter tonight. Actually thrown it at about a 20% higher clip than what he has done in the regular season. So showing some confidence, bringing those pitches along.
Here's 1-0 to Carlos Gonzalez, sharp, 1-1. Ryu putting up zeros on the anniversary of a famous Dodger pitching performance against the Rockies. On this date in 1996 that Hideo Nomo no-hit the Rockies at Coors Field. He's still the only no-hitter in that ballpark. That's strike 3. Gonzalez the first out of the 5th. You know, one of the remarkable things about what Nomo did that night, first pitch was delayed by a couple of hours because of cold and the rain. It was 46 degrees and the footing was so bad that at one point He pitched from the stretch with nobody on just to combat the bad footing midway through that game, and still is able to do the unthinkable, pitching a no-hitter at Coors Field. Tonight against Ryu, 3 hits, over 4 1/3 scoreless innings. His first one to Drew Butera. Loses his balance and misses 1-0.
Butera, part of a Dodger no-hitter. Josh Beckett's no-hitter. He caught that, and Chase Utley was the last out of that no-hitter. Fastball right down the middle. They went out to the mound. Drew went out to the mound and talked to Beckett, and they talked through it, and Josh goes, forget trying to think about how to get him out. There's no way he's going to think I'm going to throw him a fastball down the middle. Let's go with that.
Huh. 1-2. Butera hooks one towards the left field corner. Peterson in the move to make the catch. Have a night, Jock Peterson.
He might have caught that ball twice. Take a look at it on the replay. It hits the glove, and then there's an awful lot of white. Let's see what happened here. Oh yes, no cone. Oh yeah, recapture. Oh, and a fist bump with a fan in the front row for good measure.
I had it all along, he says.
A lot of smiles down in the left field corner right now. Come to the ballpark and think, I hope I get a foul ball. I hope I catch a home run ball. I hope I get a fist bump from Jock Peterson.
And on TV.
Yeah. Yep, their phone's going to light up now.
Tom Murphy out of the pitcher's spot. Murphy goes towards that same spot. Put your phones down. Here's another one. Quickly 0-2. Ryu looking for his first 1-2-3 inning since the second. Downhill with an 0-2, and he's got it. Striking out Murphy. Jock Peterson tonight, 2 homers, a double, a snow cone, and a night made for this fella. by Energy Upgrade California and by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Toyota's 2018 clearance countdown is on. Get the biggest savings on an adventurous new RAV4. 2 in the first, 4 in the third, and 2 in the fourth in this series for the Dodgers. Such a big one. Could not have gotten off to a better start.
It's been absolutely fantastic. Ryu goes out there, takes the mound, looks really, really good. Just that little dribbler hit from Arenado, but then all of a sudden the blasts come when the offense gets their chance. The 3 home runs, and Jock Peterson have a night.
Setting the tone for this series with 2 really good pitchers going over the next 2 days. Kershaw tomorrow, Buehler on Wednesday. Cody Bellinger to lead off this inning. And he takes strike 1 from DJ Johnson. The Dodgers have had a hand in the Rockies' undoing at the top of the division before. Of course, the Rockies have only been around for 25 years. They're still looking for that first division title. Been to the postseason 4 times, all 4 times as the wild card. And in 3 of those 4 cases, the division was never really much of a possibility. For that 07 season when they went to the World Series, they finished the regular season by winning 21 of 22 to win the wild card. Bellinger yanks one in the air to right. Gonzalez has it for the first out. 2009 they were in first place for a total of 1 day. And then last year they went to the wild card game, but there were 17 games out of first. Really the 2 best chances the Rockies have had to win the division. 1995, which was just their 3rd year of existence, and 2010. In 95, they led by 2 games on this date, but were below 500 over the final 2 weeks. And that included losing 2 of 3 to the Dodgers in the final week and losing the division by 1 game to LA. Strike 1 on Grandal. 2010, they were within a game of first on this date and lost 13 of their last 14, including 4 to a not very good Dodger team that year. And they went from a game back on this date to 9 out to finish the year.
There's a lot of weight on Rocky's shoulders, and Nolan Arenado carries it maybe more than anybody. An MVP candidate, wants to be an MVP, and wants to win with the Rockies. Be a free agent in a couple years, and some of the slump that he's in could be from the fact that he is really pressing, trying to get a lot of it done himself.
Grandal chases one in the dirt, 2 gone. Yeah, Nolan is known when things don't go well to stay late at the park, work on his swing till he gets blisters on his hands. He says when he gets into the batter's box, he likes to know that he's done everything in his power to be successful that night. And that brings a lot of confidence. Think of it like when you study for a test in school. When you sit down at that desk and you've poured over your notes, your textbook, you know everything there is to know. How comfortable that feeling is. That's the kind of feeling Nolan likes to take into the game with him. It's a strike on Kike Hernandez.
I had that feeling in baseball. I didn't have that feeling in the classroom.
Spend a little more time prepping for the starts than the tests.
Yeah, I studied a little harder on the hitters.
His turnaround for the Rockies, they're 8 back in late June. It kind of corresponds with Nolan Arenado going to the press and saying, look, I'm sick of losing. Tired of coming to the park every day feeling like we don't have a good chance. We're too good to be losing this frequently. And they've kind of turned it around since then. It's another foul, and it's 0-2 still. But he takes it personal. Wins and the losses.
It doesn't always feel like your leader is calling the team out publicly as much as they're mentioning the elephant in the room. And sometimes that does clear the air and everybody goes, oh, good. Somebody has admitted it, that we need to be better. And we don't have to just come up with excuses every time we come in and there's a huddle of media around your locker. We can actually say, you know what? Yeah, we should be better. We should be producing. We've got enough talent. This is about us. This is not about, it's just not happening right now.
Hernandez down looking. Johnson with a 1-2-3 fifth.
Back at the best backstage moments so far this season, from Max Muncy's home run derby to Andre Ethier's retirement ceremony. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers, presented by Cadillac, Friday after the postgame on Sportsnet LA.
Top six, Dodgers 8, Rockies nothing. Hyun-Jin Ryu, the best he's looked in a few starts.
He's looked very sharp, and you know what? He hasn't let the large amount of support up on the scoreboard take away from his execution, his intensity. He threw the ball the best I've seen him in a long time, the last inning.
You've got the Rockies bullpen, which is going to have to shoulder 6 innings tonight. Charlie Blackmon pops the first pitch up to left field for Jock Peterson. He's got it. And you've got Hyun-Jin Ryu at just 70 pitches through 5 1/3. Chance to really set the Dodgers up nicely moving forward in this series.
Dave Roberts going to use his bullpen the way he wants to, and Bud Black being forced to use the bullpen because John Gray could not go deep into the game for him.
A strike on LeMahieu. Gently hit in front of the plate. Ryu pounces on him, throws him out.
You look at Ryu out there, and he's kind of lumbering. He's got really relaxed mechanics, great rhythm. Doesn't look like he's going to move too fast, but then all of a sudden a chopper in front of the plate, and you get to see what kind of athlete he is. He hops off there like a dancing bear. Quickly gets to it. Nice strong throw, a strike to first.
Dancing bear, I love it. Where did that come from? Not in Not from you. I'm just saying.
No.
What was the first?
I don't know. I mean, my first bear was Yogi the Bear.
Good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Boo Boo.
Excuse me?
The baby bear. Boo Boo.
Oh.
Hey, Boo Boo.
We see Yogi's.
Yogi's
son.
Yeah, Yogi's son. Yeah. I think there was a bear on Captain Kangaroo.
Other than 2 on Arenado.
And I think he was a dancing bear. I'm thinking he was. Twitter.com will have it.
Yep, always do. And if not, as Rick Krajewski reminded us earlier, we can always ask Jeeves.
Yeah.
Still 0-2.
Are you looking up Captain Kangaroo for me, please? Let's see if that was a dancing bear. Because there was a moose that had a key word and a bunch of ping pong balls would drop too. This is early. This is my childhood, which we know is long before your childhood.
1-2. We had Care Bears.
Okay.
Just a bunch of great guys and gals, those Care Bears.
I'm getting a thumbs up from Krajewski. Dancing bear. Not sure how it moved into baseball or any other sports terminology.
Right, you brought it there. Grounder fair. Turner long throw. Muncy pulls it out of the dirt to finish the inning. Just 8 pitches for Hyun-Jin Ryu in command, and so are the Dodgers to the bottom of the 6th.
Colorado Rockies in the bottom of the 6th inning, largely in part to the night that Jock Peterson has had. Time now for the Coors Light refreshing finish. Half a night, Jock Peterson. A home run to lead off the Dodgers first, and then a double. Another home run, the first off of a lefty so far this year for Jock Peterson, and then a beautiful defensive catch. Jock Peterson doing it all tonight. He may have caught it twice, but he caught it, and that is all that matters. Again, a Coors Light refreshing finish. The Dodgers with a commanding lead, thanks to, in part, to their left fielder.
Who is due to bat second in this inning after Hyun-Jin Ryu. Took ball 1. DJ Johnson. The dancing bear takes strike 1. Just teeing you up so you can confirm.
No, I'm gonna. We found a picture. Boyd Robertson, the booth boss, found a picture on the internet. He's going to text it to me.
Driven to right. Gonzalez working back on it, but with room.
I'm going to put it on my Twitter account later. So anybody out there thinking that we're just like crazy, we got it. We got evidence.
We're still crazy, let's be honest.
That's true.
Here's Peterson. What a night he's having. 2 home runs and a double. his first 3 times up there.
It's fun to watch Jock have fun. We've seen him frustrated over a lot of last year, early in this year, but boy, he is starting to become comfortable in a big league uniform and a consistent contributor.
Gets under this one on the first pitch. Johnson is going to do what the Rockies hadn't done thus far, and that is retire Peterson.
Third baseman, number 10, Justin Turner.
Been another productive night for Justin Turner, who's reached 2 of his 3 times out.
Scary moment in St. Louis on Saturday when he went to bunt and got hit on his hand again. Fortunately, wears a pad there that got most of it.
And a little bit sore. We're going to be sore for a while, but Justin will tell you, and Dave Roberts said before the game today, that it's good enough given the situation. Good enough to play in the heat of the race. And fastball flies by the hand again. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I think everybody in the Dodger organization flinches when he gets one of these. Anything close to that hand, it's scary after you've lost your best player early in the season because of it. Not only the best because you're thinking of the production you're going to get from him at the beginning of the year, but the best because of the presence and the clubhouse leadership. And it's really hard to lead and really have that impact if you're not in the lineup. It's a play we're talking about. People say, well, why was he bunting? Well, they were playing him way off the line and way deep, and he was just in the middle of a race and said, you know what, I can get on easy. I just lay down any general bunt. And you get one up and in like that.
Full count. Off the lake. Turner's second hit of the night.
2 out, nobody on. You're kind of hitting for yourself. His other hit tonight was with a man on second and no out. He made sure he hit the ball to right field. Didn't hit it very well. Not as hard hit as this one, but he found a hole and got rewarded.
I think it's Machado to the plate with 2 gone. It's another 2-strike hit for one of the best in baseball with 2 strikes. Strike 1. Punch down the right field line. A souvenir. That same direction, the same result. Turner at first, 2 gone, and an 0-2 pitch. Machado swings over it, strike 3. Inning over to the 7th in an 8-0 game. Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop ChooseNissan.com.
That was a shot of Captain Kangaroo back in old morning children's show, and Dancing Bears on the left, Mr. Moose and Mr. Green Jeans on the right.
Boy, come for the Dodger baseball and stay for the Captain Kangaroo references. Ball 1 on Pat Valaika in an 8-0 game here in the 7th. Valaika is on for Trevor Story, and Rockies fans and really baseball fans will wait with bated breath to see what that injury is. Hate to see a guy injured at any point, especially with his team in the heat of a race. 2-0.
Somebody gets hurt, and everybody on the field, no matter what uniform you're wearing or either dugout, everybody feels a little bit vulnerable. Like what we're doing is so special, and it's that close to being gone every day. Really walking a line. You know, it's a Justin Turner inside fastball. All of a sudden he's an out. You know, it's a Yasiel Puig swing, and all of a sudden he feels something. Everybody knows. But it's really realistic when you see it, no matter who it is, a teammate or somebody else.
It's a painful reminder. So that was in the bottom of the 1st inning. He made that diving play. And the next time he came up to hit, he said that's enough. Valaika with a base hit to left. He reaches for that right elbow.
I was thinking maybe it's in the hand, but maybe it's the elbow. And feel it when you go to swing, you feel it when you throw. Nolan Arenado hurt himself on an awkward play against the Dodgers. That was a shoulder that had ended up bothering him for a while and still does. And now maybe Trevor Story with an elbow.
1-0 on Matt Holliday. When Matt Holliday showed up to play for the Rockies last month, his shoes didn't arrive in time. And so they went into the archives at Coors Field to find him an old pair. In the 2007 World Series, in the like the Rockies Hall of Fame showcase in the ballpark, there were a pair of his cleats, and he could choose between those and one other set that they had laying around that were his from his first stint in Colorado, and he went with those World Series cleats. Takes a strike from Ryu, and it's 2-1. All full circle for him. He didn't want to just come back for any team. There's something special to him. The idea of maybe wrapping up his career as a Rocky after spending last year with the Yankees. It had looked for a while like that was maybe going to be it, but decided to give it another shot. Tore it up at AAA, and the Rockies said, why not? See what he can do at this level. Vallecas at first as Holiday swings and misses at a ball in the dirt for the first out of the 7th.
You say, how do they not have a pair of shoes for him? Well, a lot of these shoes these guys are wearing are custom made. It's not just about the color shoe, it's custom last. They take molds of their feet and make orthotics for them, and the orthotic then slips in perfectly to have their feet fit in there exactly the way they want it.
And he has size 14, so
those aren't just laying around.
Right. Beyond just being, or beyond probably having custom shoes. It's not a size that you can just swap with anybody. Here's Desmond taking a ball. Now ball 2. Next pitch will be the 90th for Ryu. He's trying to go 7 full innings for the 3rd time this year. Falling behind Desmond 3-0. 7 shutout innings against the Nationals back in April. And held Arizona to 2 runs over 7 innings. Final day of August. Strike 1. Strike 2. After falling behind 3-0, he's worked it full. Honeycutt with another call down to the pen. Carlos Gonzalez due next. And John Axford warming. Punch to second. Hernandez feeds Machado. How about a double play to finish off 7 shutout innings for Hyun-Jin Ryu? We stretch at Dodger Stadium. What a start to this critical series. Well, you looked at this series and saw Kershaw game 2, Buehler game 3, and you thought, boy, it'd be great if you could get Hyun-Jin Ryu to pitch well on night 1, and did he ever?
He has a great pulse for big games. He goes about his business the same way, no matter what the possible result will bring, and boy, he brought it tonight.
7 shutout innings. Brian Shaw comes in for the Rockies. Tonight, where their bullpen has been used heavily, delivers ball 1 to Max Muncy. Shaw was one of the big offseason pickups for Colorado that they thought would make the bullpen a strength. While Wade Davis has been much better recently, Shaw has not been the guy they thought they would get.
He's almost been scored upon 50% of the times that he has taken the mound. Had to go on the DL early in July with a right calf strain, was reinstated, has pitched a little better since coming back, an ERA just over 3 since coming off the DL. But you're right, Joe, it's been a disappointing season for him and for the Rockies.
Falls behind Muncy 2-1, and he's gone from a guy that they're just continue to throw out there in the high leverage spots, hoping that he can recapture what they know is in there, to pretty much serving mop-up duty. So the pen has gotten better, yes, partially because Wade Davis has gotten better, but partially because they've stopped going to Shaw, stopped going to Jake McGee, and are relying on guys that previously had been in roles like Shaw now finds himself in, cleaning things up in low leverage. Few defensive changes for you. Yes, Ian Desmond is the shortstop, although playing Muncy to pull the ball. Valleca's over to first. And Raimel Tapia is checked into the game in center. A 2-2 to Muncy. And the count goes full. Leadoff walk. Second of the game for Muncy. 10th in his last 5 games.
Be here on Saturday when the Dodgers host the Padres. The first 40,000 fans in attendance will receive a Manny Machado bobblehead presented by State Farm. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Here's Puig. Yeah, it's interesting seeing Desmond over there short. Of course, a shortstop by trade to open his career in Washington, but he's only played 2 innings of shortstop all year. Last year, just played 1 game at short. Strike 1 on Puig. And you hope that they don't already know something about Trevor Story, where Bud Black's saying, why wait to get a look at Desmond there?
Well, even if Trevor Story's injury is day to day, or if they're thinking it could be a little bit longer term than that, they want to get Desmond some reps there, and Bud Black taking this opportunity to do it.
Puig's the first out.
Center fielder, number 35, Cody Bellinger.
Here's Bellinger. Bouncing ball right side. The only play they'll have is at first. Muncy to second. Now Desmond didn't become an outfielder until almost by chance. He was a free agent a couple of years back. He was working out at an academy in Florida by where he lives. There was a Japanese college team that was touring, and he saw them at the academy, decided to work out with them that day, and took his ground balls at short. I decided why not go give the outfield a try, and was comfortable out there. At that point was still waiting on somebody to sign him. That was the year where so many guys had the qualifying offers attached to them that
and undermine their value, and saw so many guys go late with no deal. Strike one on Grandal. But word got out soon after that Desmond was willing to try the outfield, and that's a big part of the reason why he was given his first offer. Texas gave it to him, played the outfield there, came here as an outfielder and his first baseman, but perhaps getting pressed back into more duty at short over these critical final couple weeks. We'll see. One and two. That one hurt.
You are so right. That really does hurt. I don't understand how guys can get right back in there. Catchers amaze me when they get hit behind the plate and get right back down there and keep calling the game and playing, and hitters too.
Grandal down on strikes. That's that in the seventh, and Yasmani takes his frustrations out on the bat.
At the end of the game, the Dodgers are probably going to win. Well, it did happen after 7 strong innings from Ryu and a Cody Bellinger hit and a bunch of other home runs by Peterson and Muncy. This has been quite a night.
And now Alex Wood into the game for his first relief appearance since the World Series last year. And a bullpen that continues to evolve. For more, we go down to Alana.
Guys, we saw John Axford warming up earlier, and in fact, the Dodgers reinstated the right-hander today from the 10-day DL. Also, left-handed pitcher Tony Cingrani from the 60-day disabled list. They also recalled right-handed pitcher Yimi Garcia from single-A Rancho Cucamonga. Now, Axford has been on the DL since August 14th. He missed 30 games with that fractured right fibula. Cingrani missed 89 games with a left shoulder strain. And Yimi Garcia is making his second stint with the big club after posting a 1-2 record with a 5.57 earned run average. To make room on the 40-man roster, the Dodgers transferred right-handed pitcher Daniel Hudson to the 60-day deal with the right forearm tightness.
All right, Alana, a lot of bookkeeping to do there. Carlos Gonzalez takes ball one from Alex Wood. And this is going to be really interesting to watch Alex Wood over these final couple weeks pitch out of the bullpen, where I think you and everybody else has a feeling he can be a real weapon. Like that. 1-1.
A left-hander with a devastating breaking ball, a mentality to attack. He's a flat-out gamer. You're not going to lose anything. He has a bullpen mentality as a starter. Abandoned the windup coming into this year, saying he could be more consistent and pitch better, quicker adjustments from using only one delivery. So he's been completely from the stretch, so no adjustment there.
Fly to center field, and it carries well, sending Bellinger to the edge of the warning track to get Gonzalez one away. Do you have your whiteout handy or your eraser? Or maybe you can just stop keeping score at this point, Oral. We've got all kinds of changes for you. Hernandez at third, Taylor at short, Dozier at second, and now Alex Verdugo in for Puig and right.
You're referring to my spring training scorekeeping. I do all 9 innings in the regular season.
Especially in September.
Oh, yeah. I've been practicing the whole year.
Got your stamina up.
When I start, I finish now.
It's ball one on Drew Butera. I'm glad to see that the 60th birthday has come and gone, and you still have every bit of energy as when you were 59.
I feel really good about this next year. Hopefully we are celebrating a Dodger World Championship. There's a lot of parties to get through, though.
You're a very loved man.
I appreciate that, but I want to thank you guys for taking me to dinner. It was awesome. The bottle of wine was great, if we can say that on the air.
Yeah, well,
just
too late. Yeah. Here's a 3-0 pitch. It's a 4-pitch walk. And a base runner against Wood here in the 8th. And coming up on Sunday for the final regular season game at Dodger Stadium this year, Oral Hershiser bobblehead giveaway. First 40,000 fans in attendance on not just Oral Hershiser bobblehead giveaway day, but Fan Appreciation Day here.
There's going to be a lot of giveaways that day with Fan Appreciation Day. I know one of the items that we donated was somebody will win a trip up here to the booth and be with us during a few innings. Get to visit and watch how this gets done up here. See our beautiful booth. Get to meet Rick Krajewski and Boyd Robertson, the booth boss.
Real stars of the show.
Keep us on the tracks, right on the rails. Never get off the rails.
They try. Garrett Hampson, strike one. And we'll have other opportunities as this homestand winds down and as this regular season winds down. But Boyd and Rick and our producer Mike Levy, our director Dustin Denty. We have just so many pieces that work so hard behind the scenes to get us on the air and make us sound okay and look okay. And truly is the best crew in baseball that we have working production. Two and one. Two and two. Last time Alex Wood pitched in relief, the final 2 innings of the World Series last year. It was perfect. Started last season in relief. It was an all-star campaign for him, but with bookend bullpen stints. Earned his way to the rotation very early on last year. Wants to be a starter, but open to doing whatever the team needs. He hits Hampson here, and they're at first and second with 1 out. What's the biggest adjustment? And obviously Alex has worked out of the pen before, so it's not entirely new. But when you've been on your routine as a starter all year, what's the hardest thing about going down there at this point?
Warming up. You know, understanding what it's going to take to get everything ready. How long can you do it on short notice, and then feeling comfortable with going from the bullpen and I've got it here, but how quickly can I get it out here? Out of the bullpen, you got to get it like first batter, first few pitches. As a starter, you can kind of ease into it, and not because it's not important in the first inning or when you first take the mound in the first inning as a starter, but it's less important than as a reliever. As a reliever, the game could be right on the line at that moment. As a starter, if you can't find it right away and you give up a run in the first inning, there's a long way to go in the game. Just settle in and get through it.
Tapia with a flare to left, and Jock Peterson has it for the second out. Two on, 2 out. Here's DJ LeMahieu. Strike 1.
As a starting pitcher, you know, you start to really get a feel for your pitches, and you learn how to move them around once you develop your rhythm. And sometimes as a reliever, you're headed towards the inside part of the play or the outside part of the play, but as a starter, you're headed towards the corner. And so sometimes you don't get to that point where you can know exactly what I'm doing out of the pen. A little more general what you're trying to do. I'm going to keep this ball down. I'm going to keep this ball up. I'm going to try and throw a strike with it with this breaking ball, or I'm going to try and bounce it. Whereas a starter, you can get a little bit more refined once you get more and more reps and into the game.
Two on, 2 out, 8th inning, 1-2 to LeMahieu, and he strokes a line drive to left center that'll get the Rockies on the board. Throw goes to third, not in time. RBI single from DJ LeMahieu. Scoring Drew Butera, and it's 8-1.
Breaking ball that is a little more of the strike zone than the breaking ball prior. The last one kind of hit the corner. This one is a little bit more towards the middle. Back-to-back pitches in the same area, one being an easier location to hit, and Dave Roberts is going to change it up.
With Nolan Arenado coming up, Dave Roberts back into the bullpen. John Axford back to a major league mound after this. first place. The Diamondbacks lost again tonight. Game 1 against the Cubs, 5-1 the final score. And Arizona, which after beating the Dodgers in the first game of that 4-game series here a few weeks ago, led the division by a game and a half. They've gone 4-13 since, and now trail by 5. John Axford reinstated from the disabled list today, pitching for the first time since fracturing his leg on the Coors Field mound more than a month ago.
He was starting to throw the ball really well, starting to settle into the Dodger uniform. And I know Dave Roberts, Rick Honeycutt, and the front office all want to see if any of these guys can contribute on a quick basis, and then maybe Dodgers get into the playoffs, be on the playoff roster, and help out.
Strike one on Arenado. Now Axford and Cingrani, their most recent time on a mound was in the Cal League Championship Series. Those A-ball hitters got to be thinking, wait a minute, I'm trying to win a championship and I got to face 2 veteran major league relievers here? That's not fair.
It's a loaded ball club.
Out in front, 1-2. It helped, by the way. The Quakes won the Cal League. 3-game sweep.
Congratulations. Doesn't matter what level you're at. Winning a championship is an awful lot of fun.
Wonder if Axford and Cingrani will get a ring. Arenado cracks his bat on a flare to short center that'll dunk in for an RBI hit. Throw goes to third, and an outfield assist from Bellinger to cut down LeMahieu and finish off the Rockies in the 8th. Presented by your Southern California Ford dealers.
All right, thanks, Joe. The Dodgers just 3 outs away from taking over sole possession of first place in the National League West, and it's been a dominant start to this 3-game series.
Ryu was outstanding, and I love the swings by Jock Pop and Max Muncy.
These two guys will break it down after the game. Alana has a reaction from the clubhouse. We'll see you in a bit.
Number 14.
Ryan McMahon is in the game at third. And Sam Howard is on to pitch.
Made his debut this year, and you can see only 2 games. Recalled on September 4th after pitching in 1 game and then going back down to AAA, but back up here to get some more experience and seasoning. And in an 8-2 game here late, and try and show the Rockies that he belongs in the big leagues not only now but in the future.
Hernandez to lead the inning off. Dodgers tonight 2 in the first, 4 in the third, and 2 in the fourth. Chasing the Rockies starter John Gray from the game before he headed out in the 3rd inning. It's been a revolving door for the Colorado bullpen. 1-1.
It couldn't go any better for the Dodgers, and it couldn't go any worse for the Rockies. The starter getting knocked out early, Bud Black having to go to the bullpen. Trevor Story being knocked out with an injury, and we'll see how he is.
Wow. Scalded into center. Hernandez first hit of the night.
Shortstop, number 3, Chris.
Glad that ball ended up in center field. That was really close to Howard.
Taylor. Boy, how pumped are you for tomorrow's pitching matchup? Kyle Freeland for the Rockies, Clayton Kershaw for the Dodgers.
And another game that the 2 teams will be playing for who's in first. Dodgers should pass the Rockies here tonight and finish this one off, and then the Rockies will be trying to do the same thing tomorrow, but they have a huge challenge with Clayton on the mound.
Another 2 on Taylor. Kyle Freeland has made 3 starts against the Dodgers this year. He's got a sub-3 earned run average and has emerged into their ace. He's not going to win it, but he may get a few Cy Young votes. Taylor hits one high, but not deep. Tapia. 1 out.
If you're going to play a big series, you'd line up Clayton Kershaw to be the first pitcher, but if I told you you could win the first game, who would you want going in game 2? You'd say Clayton Kershaw would be really good.
Here's Matt Kemp. Yeah, the Rockies would probably say, if you ask them, who would you want to line up when you need a bounce back game, when you need a stopper, and their answer would probably be Kyle Freeland.
You are so right about that. With John Gray, they've got a chance to get an exceptional game, or maybe a game that you're not expecting, and that's what they got tonight. He just was not himself as far as when you think about John Gray when he's throwing the ball well.
Not much in between with him.
We knew early on, too, the Dodgers were seeing him and hitting him well, and Jock Peterson hits home run, first at bat of the game for the Dodger offense. And then some of the pitches, they were even hard to chart. He was calling them changeups, and they're probably backup sliders. And he didn't have much confidence in the slider. He was throwing more curveballs early on than he was really his #1 secondary pitch.
Andy Garcia. On a 2-1, Matt Kemp grounds it foul, 2-2. Look out, Kurt. Full count. I said look out, Kurt. That shot came from Kurt, who will not tell us an official number, but he's been working that camera for a long time. He's seen some things down there.
He's probably gotten hit by a few foul balls.
He says, yeah. I don't think he likes this attention.
Okay.
You're gonna get it though, man.
Yeah.
We're talking about Mike and Dustin heading our production crew and best in the business. This camera crew on a nightly basis blows us away. We sit up, you and I both kind of TV nerds, I know.
Yeah.
But there are shots every night where we shake our head and say, man, that was cool, that you just don't see from other crews in other cities.
And they're so studied that they can almost finish our thought as we start to analyze or describe. And so the picture ends up almost beating our words, where it's so easy just to lead into something because they just are listening to us and following our thoughts and our patterns, and that you end up with the picture right along with what you were thinking.
You and I sometimes say to each other, you know, get out of my brain, Hershiser, get out of my brain, Davis.
Yeah.
Get out of our brains, camera crew, because you guys, it's amazing. Kemp down on strikes, 2 out.
Second baseman, number 6, Brian Dozier.
Darren. Look at these guys. Robbie. Brian Dozier comes up.
You know, an Army runs on its stomach, and our crew, they do a good job at the table.
An Army runs on. Oh,
our guys eat.
They do
we
eat
go up
well.
and we eat and we visit with them. They eat really well.
1-0. Bank.
No, this is not the last broadcast of the year.
The Dodger outburst has given us an opportunity to acknowledge the people that deserve it more than we're able to. John gets a great tan. He's always in the sun, always moving around. 2-1 on Brian Dozier. The Dodgers ahead of the Rockies 8-2 here in the 8th. Tim hiding back there. Two and two. Oh, wow. That guy's invisible.
It's Kraz.
Dozier with a bullet foul. Kraz runs our robo. And Kraz also wears a cloak. Invisibility cloak. For all we know, he may be standing right there right now. Howard to Dozier with a 2-2 pitch, coming inside, missing. Full count. Hernandez at first with 2 away. He'll take off as Dozier swings, and it's a towering fly ball down the line. Hooking foul. Bryant's trying to break out of a prolonged slump here, but indications from the hitting coaches and from Dave Roberts are that they're encouraged by the pregame work. They're encouraged by a few things they've seen in game recently. Too good of a track record for it to go on much longer. He takes ball 4.
Sometimes you got to walk your way out of a slump. That was a very good take. Not too anxious to try and make it happen, and maturity to take the walk.
Dave Roberts getting a chance to give Kyle Farmer an at-bat here. Caught back up when rosters expanded. Playing time's been hard to come by. Two on, 2 out, 8th inning. Kyle Farmer looks at a strike. Tell you what, those Georgia Bulldogs look good. Kyle's alma mater.
I haven't watched their football games though this year. Are they 2-0?
3-0.
3-0.
Number 2 in the country.
Got to come up against my brother's Crimson Tide. Went to Alabama.
Oh, a monster again. 1-2.
It's almost unfair. It's like a 5-star recruit at every position.
Yeah.
If that guy goes down, 5-star recruit playing behind him.
Yep. To pop up. Farmer hopes that it fades. And it does. Kyle's a former football player himself. He's a high school quarterback. A good one. In a very good high school football state in Georgia.
When I would do the Little League World Series with ESPN, the group from Warner Robins would always do really well there, coming from Georgia. And those kids would be getting out of football practice as they would move deeper into the Little League World Series. They were always having to make decisions. Am I going to stay with my all-star team and maybe have a chance at districts and then to regionals and then go to Williamsport, or am I going to quit baseball now? And they get pressure from their football coaches like, come on, baseball, let's go. No.
And got him to load the bases.
Finally get an opportunity to get up there and get in a bat and get nicked on your toe.
You get to feel like you're playing football again. You get hit. They're loaded up for Muncie. The way that assistant hitting coach Brant Brown put it is, for Muncie, with these walks going up the last few games, the force field is back.
That is an interesting way to put it, because he's got some great vision when he is locked in.
10 walks in his last 5 games. Takes ball 1 here. This homer really kind of started the route tonight. It was 3-0 when he launched his 3-run shot in the 3rd, made it 6-0. And here with the bases loaded in the 8th, he's ahead 2-0. Here it is his 33rd.
John Gray raised his arms, threw a backup slider kind of high and away. The spin was there, but the break was not.
Good pitch, 2-1. Ball 3. Another old football player from another good football state, Texas. Injuries, though, ended Max's football career. One of them came in spring ball. The other one came soon after he came back from the spring ball injury. He was just running on the track and football workouts and stepped wrong. Full count. You know, like the drop off on the edge of the running track.
Yeah.
Stepped off wrong, and I don't remember the exact injury, but it was enough for him to say, I am done with this sport and focusing on baseball.
Well, the way this year has gone, he made a really good decision,
I'd say. Nowhere to put him. Scary thing for a pitcher when the force field's working. Sam Howard to Max Muncy with a 3-2, and Muncy hits it foul. Dieter. Star Wars.
So I guess he's swinging a lightsaber.
I like it. Another payoff. Once he got this one off the end of the bat. LeMahieu finishes the inning. Let's go to the ninth. Our Nissan Dodger calendar. You saw Clayton Kershaw bringing it back from break. You'll see him tomorrow night in Game 2 of this series between the Dodgers and the Rockies. And then it's Walker Buehler on Wednesday. Off day Thursday. Final 3 home games of the regular season over the weekend with the Padres coming to town. Yimi Garcia to handle the ninth.
Welcome back, Yimi. One of the 3 guys that got activated today with Axford and Singrani and Yimi Garcia getting an opportunity to come out there and get the job done. His stuff and his velocity have been there as he's worked his way back. Just trying to get that pinpoint location again.
Pat Valleca to lead this 9th inning off for the Rockies. With a one hopper to short, Chris Taylor. So we did some digging and we got the dirt, Kurt. I'm sorry, but we're going to tell everybody how long you've been in that camera well. Kurt Struve has been shooting Dodger games since 1985.
Wow. Way to go, big guy.
Not always in that same spot. He's been able to take bathroom breaks and stuff, but yeah, he's worked different camera positions. And one of the very best.
He also shoots the pregame on the field when Alana hosts.
There's Holiday with one gone. Strike one.
That's where Kurt and I became friends, down there pregame and hanging out before we're going to do the show. And Vinny was still up here doing home games. And we'd come in for the pregame show and just kind of hang out, talk baseball, talk television, talk life.
I'm sure you guys spent a little bit of time while you were playing too.
Oh,
you were shooting much of your Dodger career.
Yep, I came up in September of '83, and he's been here since '85. So yeah, from '85 until '94.
One and two. You know, Rob Menchel, who's one of the cameramen we showed when we were rolling through him, not far behind.
Yep.
1989 was Rob's first year. Same for Boyd Robertson.
What was your first year, Boyd? '89, because we used to play golf.
This guy here.
Boyd and I were part of a foursome on the road until Tommy said, "You can't take your clubs, Bulldog, on the road. We've been losing."
So Boyd took them for you.
I put my wife's maiden name on the bag, and Tommy still found out they were mine. He said, "That'll be $250, Bulldog," and I said, "Okay." And the next day I put a $1,000 check on his desk, and he goes, "Bulldog, I told you $250. What's this check for?" I go, "You're going to catch me 3 more times."
Dave Bushner's just sitting there quietly. He's got them all beat. 1978. He started shooting Dodger games. Full count on Holiday.
I graduated high school in '76. That's awesome.
Holiday laid off, and that's a one-out walk. And hey, as much as we love Boyd and Rob, 1989 was their first year. Guys,
what?
We got to get them a title.
Yeah, that's true. Wow.
Running is number 56.
Here's Ian Desmond.
I think there's a few fans thinking the same thing.
They're thinking now we have 2 scapegoats.
It's Boyd or Rob's fault.
Inside corner for a strike on Desmond. He was 0 for 3 tonight. Oh, and 2. Garcia gets it by him. 2 gone in the 9th inning. Yeah, Dave Roberts going to hand it off to somebody else for the last out. Tony Cingrani with his first appearance in a long time. Peterson, 2 home runs and a double, all in the first 4 innings of this game. Really set the tone with the opposite field shot to start the night.
Jock had quite a game. It wasn't just with the bat, the defense. Tell you what, just starting to really enjoy having him at the plate, trusting him, and trusting him in the field. He's got a chance to be a really huge factor here coming down these last 11 games.
Talking with Kyle Farmer and Brant Brown as Tony Cingrani comes on for the first time in several months. It's hard to believe. You got to go back to early June to find his last major league appearance.
You might be at home going, okay, 2 out in the 9th, 8-2. Why are they bringing him in now? These are significant ups in the bullpen, and get in the game and feel the big league adrenaline again. Axford, Yini Garcia, Cingrani, they're all going to try and get them into some sort of rhythm to see if they can contribute here down in the last 11 games, or maybe be part of the postseason roster if they get there.
No, Cuevas takes second, pinch running for Holiday. Hitter is Gonzalez. Nobody covering third. They've actually called a balk on Cingrani. One ball, 1 strike. The Dodgers set to move back into first place by a half game. This would be the 3rd day that they've led the division over the last month and a half. Tomorrow they'll try to move into first place by more than a half game for the first time since August 2nd. 1-2. Previous 3 days over this last month and a half where they've had first place, it lasted just 1 day. They followed it with a loss on each occasion. Behind Kershaw tomorrow. Try and get a little bit of separation. 2-2. Full count. Cingrani makes the catch, and that's it. They take game one, and they take first place with less than 2 weeks left.
Took a lead real early in the game. Ryu made it stand up for a long time, and it seemed like everybody on the team contributed.
Heck of a matchup tomorrow as Kershaw goes for the Dodgers against Kyle Freeland of the Rockies to try to clinch a series win, try to extend the division lead to a game and a half. For Orr Hershiser, Alana Rizzo, and the rest of our crew, Joe Davis saying so long from Dodger Stadium. Dodgers win this one 8-2. Stay tuned. Access Sportsnet Dodgers begins now.